everybody, welcome back to the Wandering Reader. Today I'm going to be, or this video is basically a weekend reading vlog, and it's a vlog of the Create Your Own Readathon, which is a readathon being hosted by Sarah over at Steeped in Books. She does this every month on her channel. I will leave a link to her sort of Goodreads group down below. But it's basically an opportunity every month for you to set yourself whatever challenges you want. And she reminded me that this was on when I watched her sort of Friday Reads video yesterday. And actually I thought it was the perfect opportunity for me to take part, because this is the weekend before Thriller-a-thon starts. It starts on Monday, and I have a separate TBR for that. But I still have a few things on my currently reading list, and I'd quite like to get that down before Monday starts. So I'm going to start off this video by telling you what I've got on my currently reading list on Goodreads, and we'll see how much I can get rid of. I have cut it down already this week, so I've already knocked a couple of books off of the list, which is good, but I'd like to knock at least a couple more off of here. We'll see. So firstly, one that I think I will definitely get finished this weekend is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. I am on page 354, so you can see I'm that much of the way through. So I have about 80 pages left of this, so I think I can definitely finish that this weekend. In fact, I think I'm going to try and finish this today, or try and work on this today. This is Angie Thomas's second book, and it follows a character called Bree, who wants to be a rapper. And so far I'm really enjoying it. I'm still making up my mind as to kind of if I think it's as good as The Hate U Give. I still think it's a really good one to read so far, so we'll see how I get on with that one. Another thing I have on my currently reading list but I haven't touched in quite a while is 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James. I'm currently 48 pages into this, and I have been for quite some time. This is a massive book, so to be honest with this one, I'm not going to get it finished this weekend, but I think if I can start the momentum up with it again, not that I got any momentum with it before, but yeah, if I can get some momentum going on this one, I think that will be a good thing, because yeah, I think that's why I haven't been that invested in reading this one, because I've just not got to that point where I'm invested in what's going on. So there's that one. This one is The Case Against Sugar by Gary Torbs, and I'm this far of the way through this one, so I'm on page 164. And to be honest, a lot of the last part of this is actually notes. So the note section starts, where does it start? And that's the acknowledgements. It starts there. So that's how much. So actually, I'm more than halfway through this. This is basically a book talking about sugar, its origins, why we consume so much of it, the light's really weird over there. Why we consume so much of it, the marketing power of companies that produce products with sugar in them, medical research into sugar, lots of different things like that. So I've been reading a chapter a day of this, and I'm on chapter 8, I think it's called Defending Sugar. Just have a look at the contents page. Yeah, chapter 8, and there are 4 more chapters after that, including the epilogue. So over this weekend, I don't think I'm going to finish this, but I quite like to read another 2 chapters of this, so 1 a day, and then I'll almost be finished with it, so we'll see how that goes. And then the last book, physical book I have, is Sense and Sensibility. I haven't touched this since I talked to you about it last on a currently reading video, So my goal for this weekend is to read the summary of the chapters that I've already read. So I've read 88 pages of this, and I'm about to read chapter 15. So I want to read the summary of what I've read and then continue on with it. Again, not going to get it finished, but that's my goal with this one. And then I have the audiobook that I'm listening to is, I can't remember the full title, but it's basically something about Harry Potter and philosophy. So it talks about different topics, like the current topic we're talking about is love and how it features in the Harry Potter books. I'm not loving it at the moment, and I think that's got a lot to do with the narrator on it. She's got a really annoying voice, which is not great. But anyway, I may listen to some of that over the weekend. I tend to listen to audiobooks when I'm driving. I'm not doing any driving this weekend, so maybe I'll listen to a little bit while I'm doing other things. We'll see. And then on my Kindle, I have 2 books. One is Outlander. I've read 1 chapter of that quite a while ago now. I can't see me touching that this weekend, but we'll see. And then the other one is Hot in Hellcat Canyon by Julie Ann Long. This is a book that I'm reading for the Summer Romance Book Bingo. I'm about 30% of the way through that. So I think my goal with that one is to get to 50%, which I think I should be able to do. So they are my goals for the weekend, to knock some things off my TBR. I'm definitely going to finish On the Come Up, and then I don't think I'm going to finish anything else, but I'll have nearly finished some things, which will be good. What am I doing this weekend? Nothing much, to be honest. This morning I filmed a chatty get ready with me for my 300th video. I think you probably already would have seen that on my channel by now. So I will leave a link to it in the cards somewhere or down below in the description box if you haven't seen that. Sorry, my battery just said it was 20%. I hope that didn't make the screen go weird, but anyway. Tonight, Stefan and I are going to dinner with my mum and Jeff. Jeff's my mum's new husband. So I suppose he's my stepdad, but I still find it quite weird saying that. But anyway, I'm sure I get used to it. Yeah, we're going to dinner. We have booked a restaurant in Colchester, I think called the Old Siege, which Stefan and I have been to before, and we really liked it. So yeah, we're gonna catch up, talk about, you know, the holiday that we went on, loads of things like that. So that'd be really nice to see them. And then for the rest of the weekend, I'm not doing an awful lot. This afternoon I have to film another video, which is my July book haul. And then the other video that's going up on my channel this week is the Florida vlog, I think. So I just have to edit that. So that's already filmed, obviously. So I don't actually, I've done half of the filming. I have to do the other half this afternoon. I'm going to go and make some lunch now. And yeah, so I'm going to check in periodically in with you during the course of the weekend to catch up on what I've read, what I'm doing, that sort of idea. Hopefully this will be semi-interesting. We'll see. This is what I've got for lunch. Barbecue beef super noodles with cheese and sort of vinegar crisps. It's not the healthiest of lunches, but it is what it is. Hi guys, so it is Sunday morning, and yesterday turned out to be a really busy day. I only ended up reading about 60 pages of On the Come Up and about 20 pages of The Case Against Sugar, which is a lot less than what I wanted to do, but I ended up having to do some prep for my July book haul and then film my July book haul. And then once I'd done that, my mum had come round. I think I mentioned yesterday, sorry, but she knows that we were going to have dinner. she came around sort of early so we could chat about different things like that, and then we went out to dinner afterwards, and I didn't get home until about 10:30 last night. So yeah, I did a tad of reading before I went to bed, but then that was it basically. So I've got makeup for it today. Today the only thing I've got to do is edit a couple of videos before I go away and upload them and everything. And then I've also got to pack. Well, I probably don't have to pack until tomorrow actually, because we're going to the Isle of Wight tomorrow. But our ferry is not until 2 o'clock, so I probably can afford not to do much packing tonight. So yeah, I'm gonna try my best to get as much reading done as possible, starting with the last, I think, 20 pages of On the Come Up, which I'm going to read now, and I'll let you guys know when I finished it. Hi guys, so it is Sunday afternoon, sort of / evening. It's about 5:30, I think. And I thought I'd check in with you guys over how I'm doing. So firstly, I finished On the Come Up this morning, and I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4.5 stars in the end. This tells the story of Brie, and Brie wants to be a rapper. She's how old is she? Oh, it says it on the back, 16. So she's 16 years old. She lives in the garden, which is the same setting for On the Come Up, for The Hate You Give. And there are actually a couple of brief, subtle references to what happened in The Hate You Give in here, which I thought was a nice little touch. And she wants to be a rapper. Her father was a rapper. And he died quite some time ago. And she's got a very tumultuous home life. You know, she lived with her grandparents for a little while when her mother was a drug addict. They don't have an awful lot of money. You know, it's, you know, and then it talks a lot about her situation in the garden and things like that. And I found it very, very compelling. Just because I found it so real, you know, that Angie Thomas doesn't shy away from the social and political issues that are going on at this particular moment in time, you know, and it's a real insight into that particular world basically. I was worried that towards the end it was going in a direction that I didn't want it to go in, but luckily it didn't. So but I think there's just something about it that means I can't give it a full 5 stars. And I can't put my finger on what that is at the moment, so maybe I'll figure out what that is by the time my wrap up comes around. But still, I mean, 4.5 stars, it was absolutely excellent. It was a really solid second book, and I would definitely recommend reading it. And then, so if I just put that over there. And then I've also read today like a huge chapter in The Case Against Sugar. It was like a 40-page chapter, so a lot of the chapters are like 20 or so pages, so this was a particularly long one. And it was, the chapter's title was Defending Sugar, so it was all about how the sugar industry went out of their way and spent quite a lot of money on trying to convince people that sugar wasn't bad for you and all of this kind of stuff. And it's just really disconcerting to read about stuff like this, because the general public have just been manipulated in so many different ways. So yeah, really, really interesting. I would say that the more you get into the book, the heavier it becomes, more dense it becomes in terms of facts and figures and dates and names and that kind of stuff. And yeah, so I'm enjoying it a little bit less for that reason. I would say it's a little bit more on the academic side than it is on the this is a book for the general public side, I think, anyway. But it's still really interesting. So that's all the reading that I have done today. I've been editing my July book haul, which is massive and took me ages to do. So yeah, and then sort of getting a few other things sorted. I've been rearranging my shelves on Goodreads. So I decided I might do a separate video on this. You can let me know whether you think that's a good thing, you know, like how I organise my Goodreads. I decided basically I had a Kindle TBR shelf, and then I decided that I want to have a physical TBR shelf, and use my want to read list for all the other books that I don't actually own but I would eventually like to read. So I've been slowly sort of moving things over and creating new shelves and sorting things out, and I'm really pleased with how that's going at the moment. It is taking some time though. So yeah, I've been doing that as well. I haven't done any packing for the Isle of Wight tomorrow, but yeah, like I said earlier, I don't think I need to do that before tomorrow morning. We'll see. So yeah, I'll check in with you a bit later on and let you know how it's all gone on Sunday. Hi guys, so it is Monday morning and we're in the car. It's a bit bumpy. So I thought I would wrap up how the Create Your Own Readathon weekend went. I managed to finish on the come up, so that was definitely one of my goals. I read one huge chapter of the Case Against Sugar. I've forgotten the title of that. So that was a good 40 pages of that, which I was really pleased with. And then I read, so I was on 32% of Hot in Hellcat Canyon, and I got up to 44% last night. So not quite the 50% mark, which I wanted to get to, but it's still a good chunk of it done. And yeah, I'm really pleased with that. So I think I managed to achieve quite a few of my goals over the weekend. I knocked one book off my TBR. It's officially the start of Thriller-a-thon this morning, so I'm just going to be concentrating on reading thrillers this week. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed watching this vlog. Leave me any comments or questions down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.